Well, welcome to tip number 3 in the Event System's 20 Insider Secrets about Tendering. I'm Dennis Thornton, and in this tip we answer the question many people ask me, which is, I'm a good salesman, but I've never tendered for business before. How do I sell in a tender? Well, this question gets asked a lot by anyone who's used to selling their goods and services from their company to normal prospects in face-to-face, toe-to-toe selling. You'll have used language that creates emotion in your prospect in order to get them to buy. Well, unfortunately, the government rarely lets you in to see them face-to-face before the winner of the tender is announced. So you have to sell through the tender you've written instead. Another problem is that any sort of unsubstantiated claims, brochure-type language, or just plain old hype is frowned upon and will lose you points. So you have to use reason why writing. Reason why writing means that for every statement you make, you need to be able to back it up with some kind of evidence, or at least give them a reason why you've made the statement in the first place. And one of the most helpful phrases you can use to do this is, which means that. Here's an example. Now, say I'm tendering for a contract to replace the surface of an all-weather football pitch at a school. In order to sweeten the deal, I might want to say that it comes with a 5-year guarantee with a regular inspection routine. I'd write that in the tender, and especially in the executive summary, that the finish is guaranteed for 5 years and will be inspected every 6 months, which means that any damage incurred can be identified before it becomes significant and can be repaired with minimal disruption to the school. Now, some people would be tempted to use persuasive or flowery language to achieve the same result. But while this might work in a face-to-face situation, it isn't appropriate for tenders. Generally, assessment teams just want the facts. But as you can see from this example, you can use the classic sales technique of a feature followed by some benefits that many salespeople like to use, despite using fairly dry language. The other good thing about the statement above for the football field is that it accepts that the surface will suffer wear and tear. And that's fine because you're showing that you know this will happen and will deal with it. In other words, you're being realistic. A great number of companies would, in error, write something like, the finish is guaranteed for 5 years, or the finish will look amazing and be perfect for 5 years. Now, the first one doesn't say enough, obviously, while the second is too gushy and is also masking the truth, or as I used to say when I was a government assessor, lying. Just like you and me, government assessors appreciate honesty, integrity, and straight talking. But don't be afraid to tell them what's good about it either. Just use plain language. Now, if you find this information helpful, make sure you get my free guide, 20 Insider Secrets You Absolutely Must Know Before You Bid on a Government Tender. It's free, and it contains 20 of my best tips if you're tendering for public procurement contracts. Just go to www.winningtenderswithoutconsultants.com. See you there.